Okay, so we're gonna do just a quick refresh on working with assemblies, and so we're gonna make a little gear assembly just to review a couple things. So I'm gonna start by making a sketch. Actually, before even that, let's go over to here. We're gonna add a feature to do spur gears. So there's a couple different gear generators you can do. The way we're gonna do is we click the plus here. Okay, we're gonna click feature script samples, and then we're gonna search spur gear. Okay, and it's going to add that spur gear feature. Okay, and so now we got it added right here. Okay, and so now let's make a sketch on our top plane. We're just going to make a line, give it a length of 100 millimeters. Okay, and so we got our line here, and that's just going to be a reference for us to draw our gears. And so now we're going to add our spur gear. Okay, and we're going to set this as our vertex. Okay, and we're going to set our module to 2, and we're going to set our teeth to 30. Okay, so this matters a little bit because this relationship between teeth and module is tied to our pitch, circle, diameter, the size of our gear, and so these kind of three things are closely related. And so if we want our gear to be smaller but have more teeth, then we need to adjust our module. Okay, so we have to kind of do back and forth between these. And basically, the module times the number of teeth gives us our pitch, circle, diameter. And so we got that gear. We're going to make one more. And so this one I'm going to put right on this dot. Okay, and we'll set our module again to 2. And so this line was 100. That means we have 30 millimeters there, so we need 70 here. And so 70, so we want our diameter to be 140 then, so that means we want 70 teeth. Okay, and there we have it there. And so now those gears are lined up with each other. You notice they don't perfectly like overlap, but let's see if I can give this a slight rotational offset. Is there a way for me to do that? Symmetric, teeth, module. Oh, let's add a center board of both of them. So I'm going to, let's say, 8 millimeters. Okay, and then we'll do that for this one as well. And then we'll adjust the positioning in the assembly. Center board of 8. Also, you'll see that the depth is set right there. So we have both these set to a depth of 5 millimeters. These are pretty big gears. What we're going to do now, I'm going to make a sketch on this plane, and it's just going to be something to hold these gears together. We won't go anything too fancy. Let's say 160 by 35. Okay, and then we'll go symmetric on that line, and then we'll set a distance from, say, there. And then we'll extrude it by maybe 5 millimeters, and then we'll go ahead and add some like little pegs. So we're going to make another sketch. We use the center points on here, and we're just going to draw a circle. So our center board was 8 for each of them. We'll project this one on my sketch. And so for this, we want to go probably a little smaller. Let's say we go 7.5. Constrain them to be equal, and we'll say 7.5. Okay, and we'll extrude them by, let's go 7. Okay, and there we have it. Okay, so we've got our gears, we got this little mount for them, and now let's turn this into an assembly. So let's come over to here. We're going to insert our parts. We'll go with all 3 of these. Okay, and our first step is going to be to fix this one in place. Okay, so we want, this is going to be our fixed point, and so we could fix it, or we can attach it to the, we can do like a fasten mate and attach it to the origin. Okay, so we'll do that. So we got that, and now we want to put our gears on these pegs, and so we're going to do a revolute mate. I'm going to try something here. We might over define this, And so I'm just seeing if we're going to end up in that territory. And I'll put it right here on the bottom. We'll switch the direction. Okay. And now we got this gear can spin right there. Okay. Now let's make another revolute mate on there versus right there. And we will flip the direction. Okay. And now we got this guy turning 2. And so the last thing we want to do is we actually want a gear relation. Okay, so the way that we're going to do the gear relation is we're going to click on Revolute 1, and then we're going to click on Revolute 2, and now we have our gear relation. Now, if we rotate it, you could see it's kind of wonky. We've got some issues. So first thing is we can, if it was backwards, we can reverse the direction here, and that's even worse, right? So the problem though is that we have to say what the ratio of the gears is to each other, and so we want to set a ratio which is 70/30. We might have to flip the and there you go. See, they're meshing correct. Well, they're not meshing correct. The position's wrong, but they're rotating correctly. And so this ratio here is just the ratio of the teeth between the two gears. Okay, you just type it in right there. So we do have to set an offset. Okay, the way that I ended up fixing this was just by going into this right here and adjusting the secondary axis. And so that happened to work for me here. Maybe not quite perfect. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So, I mean, maybe I got lucky. And so if by reorienting second axis it's not working for you, I think the next step is to maybe come back to here and position them correctly relative to each other. So maybe we'll try doing a transform here. And we'll choose the smaller one. And we'll just do a rotate. And we'll choose that axis. And then we rotate here 30 degrees. Did it to get us in place. But you can adjust the angle on that transform to get what you want. So I'm going to go 30 here. And then we'll come back to our assembly and mess it up again, but I will unrotate it. I think it was this one, yeah. So I'll undo our rotational offset. And there we go. Okay, and so now we have a gear. We went through a couple things, right? We have a gear mate, we have 2 revolute mates, and then we have a fasten mate right there. And then there's a whole bunch of other ones depending what you need to do. There's sliders, cylindrical ones, not sure how that one behaves. You can play around with these, a ball one. If you're trying to do like a rack and pinion, you can do that. There's a screw relation, linear relation, so there's lots of different other tools you could use, and like a lot of this stuff, there's probably multiple approaches for solving different problems. Okay, so hopefully this is a little bit of a refresher for you as we get started building our projects and turning them into assemblies.